Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your first citizenship lesson of the summer term. So, what I thought we'd do is skip a couple so that we can fit in with Mr. Bridges' assembly from this week, which was about charity beginning at home. So, we're going to look today at what is a charity. So, what you need to do is go to lesson 15 in your books. So, if you turn to the back of your form books, which is where the citizenship pages are, and it's lesson 15, so it will say it at the top. So the first thing we're going to do is, as it says at the top, write a definition of a charity and then add to your thoughts after watching the opening of the video. So first off, just put in your own words what you think the definition of a charity is. How would you define it? You could just write it underneath there where it says video, or you could write it at the top in the little gap at the top of the page. What is a charity in your own words? So, tutors, you might want to pause at this point in case people are still doing their definition. But what you're going to do now, as it says in your booklet, is add to your definition based on the bits that I'm going to talk you through in a moment. So if you need to pause, pause now while people are finishing their definition, and then hit play again, and we'll go through a bit more information that you can then add to your own definition. So, a charity is a fundraising organisation, and it's set up exclusively for public benefit. And public benefit is defined by law. It has to be of benefit in terms of positive things that it does. If there are any negative side effects or consequences to the charity's work, they have to be outweighed by its positive work. And it has to benefit the public. So it doesn't mean all of the public. It could mean everyone in a certain geographic area, or everyone with their specific characteristics, such as people with certain illnesses or people who work in teaching. And it's up to an organisation called the Charity Commission to decide whether an organisation passes the public benefit test. So it does this on the basis of its guidance and by looking at case law. So if you remember, laws in this country typically go by precedent, by what's gone before. So the Charity Commission has to decide whether an organisation can pass the public benefit test, and only if it passes that test can it then be called a charity. So the two orange bits there tell you about that. It's set up exclusively for public benefit, and a charity has to be registered with the Charity Commission. The grey box there tells us that a charity can provide different things such as help, information or awareness. And the yellow box tells us that that help can be monetary. So it can be involving donations to people who need money, but it can sometimes be for help or information or awareness. It doesn't have to be about giving money. Key thing, blue box, a charity cannot make a profit. They're not allowed to make any profit at all. So this is why when you think about companies like Just Giving, for example, Just Giving is like a platform that has transformed the way that people donate to charities. But what they do is they take a very small percentage on top of what we donate to charities in order to run their business. So Just Giving is not a charity, because Just Giving makes a profit. What Just Giving is a platform in which we can then go on and choose the charities we want to donate to. So a charity can't make profit. All the money has to go towards help, information, awareness or monetary support. And the green box links into the orange ones. A charity's aims have to be charitable by law, which means they have to be approved by the Charity Commission as being for public benefit. So what you can now do in your work booklet, there is a little rules section that has some scrambled rules. So there's 4 rules that are scrambled, and what your job is to unscramble those rules into the correct grammatical sentence to explain the rules of charity. So there's 4 there to choose from. I'll put them up on the screen as well, but have a look in your book, see if you can work out the correct order of the words. Here are the rules to unscramble. You might wish to pause the video now, tutors, so that your tutees can have a go at unscrambling these sentences in their books in the table. Law charities have two aims charitable a be by. Public has be to benefit it for. Profit make a can't it. Commission the registered has charity to be with. So pause now, have a go unscrambling, and then I'll show you the answers. Check your answers. A charity's aims have to be charitable by law. It has to be for public benefit. It can't make a profit. Has to be registered with the Charity Commission. So in your books, the next section has 4 questions asking you about percentages of people that have benefited from charities or that contribute to charities. You've got the numbers there. You need to circle the correct number and use the information on this slide to help you come up with the answers. So if you pause the video, leave this information up, I won't read it to you. You can read it, pick the correct numbers in answer to the questions in your book. Do a circle around the right number. Let's go through some facts and figures in order to answer the next question in your book, which is charities contribute as much to the UK economy each year as which other sector? So, did you know there are about 166,000 charities in the UK with a total annual turnover of just under £48 billion? Just like with businesses, there are a smaller number of very big charities and lots of smaller ones. Around half of all charities have an income of less than £10,000 a year. So if you think the average wage in the UK this year is, I think, just under £30,000, I think, or the mean. So that's a third of that is the income of half of all charities. And over 80% of all charities have an income of less than £100,000. So I'm not sure about the modern wage, I'd have to check, but it's roughly kind of like Prime Minister yearly wage. That is, I think, I might be totally wrong there, but £100,000, that's like a decent CEO wage. Charities are a major part of the economy. Charities in the UK spend over 40 billion a year and employ 827,000 people. And charities contribute over 12 billion a year to the UK economy. And that is the same as the agricultural sector. So your final question, which is more of a discussion really, is why might charities be controversial? More and more public services are run by charities and they play a big role in society, as we've seen. Why might they be controversial? And remember, a controversial issue is one that has more than one point of view surrounding it. So it's something that people might disagree on, a controversial issue. If there's controversy, it means that there's more than one point of view. So have a discussion and I will speak to you again in a couple of weeks.